Hello friends, I am going to make, or at least try to show you how to make one of the skull resin shakers. So what I'm going to do here is show you how to get that to happen. All right, so I got everything out that I need today. We need these. This is your basic Christmas bulb. These are actually plastic. It does not have to be glass. I have found that the plastic ones work just as good as the glass. So don't need this at all. That part, get rid of it. Done. All right. Now, I use these little 2-ounce solo cups and I stick the bulb in that. That way it's going to be upright, not going to have an issue with it, okay? I also have here water. This is the vegetable glycerin that I'm going to use. That just slows it down. You don't have to have it. I prefer it just because it makes it slow down a little bit when you when you shake it. This is resin dye. I prefer resin dye for this. Alcohol ink does work. I don't know why. I just prefer the resin dye. Now these are little bats because I am doing a Halloween themed skull today. I am going to take my glycerin and I like to do about half and half. You can do whatever ratio you like. I just like mine to be a little bit slower when you shake them. So I'm going to put my vegetable glycerin in. Now I'm going to take this little spoon because these little guys are tiny and I'm going to try to not make a huge mess. Add these to your liking, however much you want them to, you know, how thick you want them to be. I think this is about good. I don't want to overdo it. All right. I'm going to start out with just like 2 drops of this because I don't want it to be too dark. Otherwise, you're not going to see little bats inside. Now, you can also add mica powder, whatever that you want. I have not had a great, I don't know, the mica powders I like. This one has mica powder in it. It gives it that like swirl look when you do that, which is really cool. But they do, they settle to the bottom, so when this has been sitting a while, this whole top is just clear. It's not a bad thing, but it's just not what I want for this particular one. Also, this one I'm going to show you, this is kind of a failed one. I'm not going to use this in anything. All of this here was actually this very fine glitter that I used in it with some mica to color it. But when you shake it up, sorry, I know my camera. You can see the mica powder swirl, but that glitter doesn't go anywhere. It just stays, and I don't know why. So I'm guessing maybe the finer glitters, they just don't want to, swirl because this is the 50/50. Maybe I can figure it out someday of why it's doing that. But for now, this one's a fail, which I'll just reuse somewhere. These little glitter flakes, they are a little bit heavier, so they do move around a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to add in my water. Now, here's the thing. I will fill this as high as I possibly can, but no matter what I do, and I have tried many, many different ways, I always get an air bubble in it. I think that's just going to happen. So it's a frustrating thing because I really don't want the air bubble, but there's not a lot I can do about it either. So this is full, or as full as I'm going to be able to get it. So I'm going to set this over here for a minute. Now, this is, again, these are how I do it. Find your way of how you like to do, just so that what works best for you. Not everything that works for me is going to work for you. This is how I seal the ends. I take my UV resin, I draw a circle, and then I fill in the circle. If anybody has better ways to do this, please let me know. This is just what I found worked the best for me. And I'm going to take my UV light, which I need a new one, but whatever. I'm going to hit the 30-second button because I don't want this to cure the whole way. I just want it pliable. All right. Set that over there. Oops. Okay, now I'm going to bring this back in. And it is literally like as full as I can possibly get it. So I'm going to pick this up off of here. And you're going to see there's moisture because it is still wet underneath. It's still tacky, which is actually what I want. Because when I set that on there, I can kind of press it down. It's going to displace a little bit of water, which is fine. I mean, that's all good. And then I'm going to hit it again for another 30 seconds while it's on here. I'm going to kind of use my gloved hand to hold it down a little bit while I do this, so that it gets a little bit of a seal. So that is on there. This is the little bit trickier part. So basically, I'm going to click this and get it going while I take this and I go underneath the rim on a quick thing. Try to seal that real fast. Take it away. I'm going to hit it again. Now, it does not matter if this is messy or drips down the sides. It really does not matter, I promise. You're not going to see it. I mean, some of mine have looked really messy, but it does not matter because that's not the part you're going to see. That part will be covered inside the skull mold. Okay, so that. I'm going to try to hit this side. Now, basically, I just kind of keep doing this until it's sealed and the water doesn't come out anymore. So this is a little bit longer process because, you know, but again, this is the way I found works the best for me. And see, you can see I have dripped all the way down there. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Now I'm going to use my paper towel. I'm going to dry it off just a little bit here. I want to flip it completely over and resin it this way. And doing this on a silicone mat and go all the way around because I'm going to drip, and I know this. Once you have it pretty sealed, hit it with the UV light a few times for a couple minutes. With gloves on, it is difficult to know if it's completely on there and dry. I'm going to hit it one more time all the way around and see if it's, make sure it's completely sealed. And I am messy about this. I know this. It's just how I do it. I said, you're going to play around with it. You're going to do these, and you're going to come up with your own best way to do it. Now, these are not a quick, easy process. This is something, you know, this, if you want just an easy skull mold, you just take your resin and you pour it in. That is not this. This is more detailed. You have to put a little bit more thought in it of what you're doing, how you're doing it, and what the end result is going to look like to make sure that you have all of your components correct. I'm just going to hit this at the bottom again, make sure we're all good. I'm just going to clean it off a little bit. Give it some good shakes here. Get that color good and mixed. Now I have like a cloudy blue going on. The more glycerin you put in it, the cloudier look you're going to get. So just so, you know, be aware of that. It gives it, you can kind of see those streaks. And after a while, the water and glycerin do mix a little bit better. But see, there's the bubble. No matter what I do, that bubble's going to be there. But this kind of gives it that like nighttime look with the bats moving around. Some are slower than others. Some are kind of like sticking to the top. That all has to do with the weight of the glitters itself. So here, this is completely done. These here, you can trim that off if you want to. It really does not matter because all of this, none of that's going to show. This is your skull mold. This is going to get put right down, all the way down into there. So see how that fits in there? Your colored resin is going to cover all of that up. And that's what we're going to do next. We're going to pour the rest of this. Okay, now the next part of this is going to be to pour the, do the first pour of resin. Now these, I do them in layers. Back in there. I do them in layers because you want to put clear in first. So here's my clear Unicone resin, my favorite resin of all time. Again, not sponsored, but absolutely love, love, love it. Okay, so put some of that in. That was 3 ounces of resin that I just mixed up. Put some in the bottom. Now we're going to pop this guy in there and kind of get him situated a little bit. And then we're going to put, I want more, just clear. Do clear however much you want to be able to see. This one I'm doing a little bit different than I've done other ones, so I wanted a little bit more clear in it. So, yeah, that's good. I think we'll let this sit for probably an hour or 2 and let that settle in. Make sure that that bottom clear resin is starting to harden before I put any other color in it. Because if you're using mica powder or anything like that, it will sink and then it's going to cover up your bulb. See how here in this one, there's literally just that little tiny window. That's because I put that color in way too soon. So you can't even see that that's in there really. So, okay. I have my resin here. We have 2 of them because off camera I did a second one. I want to split. This is my Unicone resin. I'm going to split this into 2 cups because I'm going to do 2 different glitters in these. Okay, so those are set in my 2 cups. This side is going to get this beautiful holographic purple, and this side is going to get the holographic blue. These are both by Renfio also. I absolutely love their products. All their glitters are Wonderful. I'm also putting in this black silver coal color uh, in both sides. It gives this a really cool color. So a couple scoops in each one of these. There's that beautiful blue. And the pretty pink purpley color. All right. Get to mixing these. One of the things about this Renfio these glitters, they're so fine that they don't just sink. So your finished product actually looks like this. So, and I just think it's really cool looking. And in different colored backgrounds, it's going to look different. I love that black with that blue in there. I think that's gorgeous. Okay. I'll wipe my stick off. You just want to make sure that these are mixed really well so that you don't have any clumps. Okay. And you will see in the molds too, down in here, you can see I brushed the clear just around the top with its powder, iridescent mica powders that by Rolio, that I dusted those with just to give that layer a different look. I don't know how it's going to come out, but we're going to see together. All right. See, and I hope I mixed that long enough. Okay, I did not quite get enough. But let's see where we're at on this one. Okay, that one I had plenty and a little bit too much. So guess what? This one's gonna get a little pink in it. That's okay. Why not, right? Okay. Those are both all full. So now we wait and come back tomorrow and see what we got. And we are back for the reveal. These molds, sometimes they can be super easy to get off, and other times I fight with them. This time it wasn't quite as bad. You just have to kind of loosen up the edges all the way around, like I'm doing here. And then once you get all of the top edges all loosened up, then you can start rolling it down. You have to be careful that you don't rip your mold, because the more you use the molds, the weaker they start getting. But overall, this is the best way to do it. If you can get that lip to go all the way down and really get it off of there. And now for the exciting part, when you first start seeing it, and you can kind of see that glitter at the bottom, and oh, there she is. Look at it. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the way that those iridescent powders came out. You can see all those bats flying around in its head. And now to show you what it looks like under good light. I'm so happy with this. All right, if you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comments below, and I will respond as quickly as I possibly can. I hope this all helped,
anybody that's wanting to try to make these. It's not an easy process, but it's so worth it in the end. If you like it, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, whatever you want, or just drop a hi. See you soon.